Bartoses.
Let's do it. In the top right, he won game 1 with some really nice, solid play. He is.
Sola.
Liking that hair, looking kempt. And over here, the bottom left in red.
ByuL.
This time he's going to be up against an early pool, a 9 pool.
Yeah. He's one-upping him, or one-downing him, rather, here.
Yeah. Depends on which way you look at it.
He's like, oh, see, the reason I won is he didn't go 9 pool. I don't know why he went 10. It's too slow.
It's too slow. Let me show you how it's done.
Well, let's see how this works for him.
This is exactly what I expected for this series, by the way. Just constant aggression early on. Not like, okay, both players go hatch first into a gas, and then we have a normal game, because this is a ZVZ where they're both really good at ZVP against Deer, who's going to be their next opponent. And especially when you're up a game, it's your opponent's map pick. If I'm Solar, like 100% going to do something like this, because why not? You know, there's very little. You know, if he totally botches it, if ByuL plays like a pool first, that's strange on his map pick, right? And then you're like, okay, fine, I'm already up a game in the series, and even if I lose the game after that, I'm going to play against Deer, and I'm a really good ZVP player.
Yeah, that is true. Now, 6 Lings on the way. This is a pretty greedy hatch first. 2 drones afterwards. Let's see how many. Does he get another? Oh, he's going to the gas. So, and another drone. And another drone.
This could actually just be the death of him.
This could be pretty tough. And in fact, if you look at the way the minerals are set up, you know, if there's like a very small nook for them to go into, it's really easy to defend and really not lose drones. But here the nook is a little bit bigger. So I feel like multiple
it's more like a
can attack right there. It's more like a cranny.
Yeah.
And with only a cranny and no nooks to speak of, it's hard to micro your drones correctly against this. It's not as efficient.
Just ask Tom Nook, man.
Just ask my cranny.
Well, this hatch is actually buying him quite a bit of time. And now he sees, okay, wow, you were super greedy. He goes into the main base. And this is going to be a very difficult battle to win. He's going to just bounce around this spawning pool and force the drones to fight a little bit. Actually, he's just going to go and fight it himself.
Goes in that cranny. Still doesn't want to attack into there because you get so many attacks off with this type of micro. Still, it is a little bit wider area.
He's just going to trap these Lings. I mean, this is really smart.
I like it. Okay, so the drones come out. They know they have to help these Lings. If these Lings are to come out and help him.
Yeah. He's actually lost quite a few already.
Well, time to run out of there, but he definitely has killed a lot. Look at that. 8 workers killed.
And he's been droning at home.
I would call that effective. He's up by 10 drones right now, Wolf.
Yeah, and he's, with that extra mineral income, going to be able to easily get his hatch up. This is a pretty unusual transition out of this to not go into Banelings off one base, but it looks like he's just going to pull up
it this way, to be honest. I feel like the Banelings are not even... They're the worst part of the build. I love it when people actually cut that out, because I think that the 10-pool Baneling is such an old build, and it's so out of date and so not good. Like, I have not seen someone actually win with that for a very long time. A very long time.
You sure you've been not missing Shine versus Sulky games on Pro League?
I would never watch Shine play a game if I had a choice. So that is correct, because I do not cast Pro League. I do not watch the Shine games.
Okay.
I would never want to see such a thing.
As is your right.
Such an abomination of the way to play Zerg.
Sulky has not ever won a game against Shine in StarCraft 1 or StarCraft 2. I think he's up to 0-8 now.
That makes sense, because Sulky is the best Zerg ever, and Shine is the cheesiest human. So that makes perfect sense. That's just like the cosmic joke. That's like the exception to the rule.
That's why the tagline for Shine is, I will 6-pool your mother and not feel bad about it.
Oh, no, he wouldn't feel bad at all.
Yeah, I'll teach your mom how to play StarCraft, and she's like trying to figure out the controls as Zerglings come in and kill him.
Yeah. No problem there. All right, so we do have some spines up, and ByuL actually has some very solid defense here at home.
Yeah, Baneling Nest is actually canceled, which he's probably going to feel pretty bad about now that these spines are up. It might have made it a little bit easier to break through.
No. Everything looks pretty safe here, though. I mean, these Lings aren't really going to do much else.
I agree with you. Not without any Banelings. I don't find him busting his way through here. But with enough Zerglings out already for ByuL, plus the spine and the queens that he's got there, I don't really... I mean, speed can only do so much for you, right? Okay, now the Baneling Nest is remade.
Yeah, he's second thought that. Gonna run in here once again, see if he can kill some drones, and in fact, he's doing a good job of it. Keeping ByuL's drone count down low. And even though ByuL has had this base longer, he's missing mining time, and he has less drones. And when you have this few drones anyways, you're not even really gaining much efficiency by having drones at the natural. Not as much as, you know, if you don't have 16 in your main.
Yeah.
So you have 13 through your natural. Your opponent has 16 as main. You guys are actually mining the same.
Yeah, that's true.
And with the big drone lead, like, I really like Solar's play and his chances here.
They canceled the Baneling Nest, of course, a second time.
Of course. Of course.
I say of course as in, you know, we saw that earlier, but I just want to clarify that for people who may not have
He's making it
that.
again.
So, I like his position here because now it's really scary for ByuL. He has to be on the defensive. But he's not going into ByuL Spinecrawler mode. He's just...
Yeah.
He even canceled his second Spinecrawler.
Well, what is ByuL's choice from here, really? Because this layer is going to be finishing up. We're going to get roach speed going for Solar, and, you know, since he did get those drones out a little bit quicker, and his layer's done so much faster, when he gets roach speed, he's going to have complete map control for a very long time.
Yeah, that's worrisome. He's also getting +1. Looks like ByuL is going to also be able to get his own, but it's so delayed. He's just almost 2 steps behind in this game because he doesn't have any other advantages. He can't even try to go over here and take a third base with speedlings on the map. The drone will be sniped, and then he's... You know, even if he tries to bring guards over with the Zerglings, they're just too slow. They won't be able to protect it.
Yeah.
And this is like very sad for ByuL to see it. Oh wow, he has an Overseer already coming over here. This is not good.
Yeah, and now he has to wonder, okay, what does he have exactly? I'm sure he'll make an Overseer ASAP when that finishes up so that he can check it out as well. See what tech Solar is up to.
He sees the third base timing as well with his Overlord placement, and that's just further frustrating for him because there's, you know, I feel very little he can do to try to...
Yeah. He's just a little bit behind in every way.
Yeah,
and
in every way.
Yeah. The thing is, you can come back from a game like that where you're a little bit behind in every way. You make a few better decisions than your opponent, a little bit better micro, and it can turn around because they're doing like the same thing, just a bit quicker for Solar. And, you know, I would say ZVZ definitely one of the matchups that is most affected by something like that, but that doesn't mean it can't be done.
Well, if you compare it to Protoss versus Protoss, for example, Protoss versus Protoss, a matchup where it's like so easy to come back when you're behind like this because you both end up going towards this maxed out army that's essentially the same, and it's hard to kill somebody before that, even if you're ahead in 3 different aspects like upgrades, Colossus count, and Archon count. Like if you attack into your opponent, you might lose that fight, so you're just going to be patient, and then like he has a maxed out army, it's max versus max. But ZVZ is a matchup where, you know, this tempo actually affects things like this, because now he can come in here and maybe he's going to snipe this base. I don't think so. I think it's actually a mistake to attack with this few roaches, but...
Yeah, but he has speed. He's not exactly sure when speed is going to finish. He knows it's pretty soon, so he doesn't want to overcommit, because there are going to be more roaches down there for ByuL, but may as well poke in, see if he can pick off a unit or two. Doesn't quite do it there. Still, an okay move.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, right now we just have this macro phase going down. We do have an additional 12 drones right now for Solar. And of course, ByuL's starting to make some drones now so that he can start mining from his third. But again, the drones are later. Even if he catches up in the number, you have to remember who had the drones first, because they will have mined more overall.
True. That's why I feel like we need to have a total resources mine tab. It's like much more important than spending tab, for example. In the you know, the little tabs we have, I want that.
Yeah, actually, I would prefer that tab,
because that's just so important to look at.
Yeah.
Well, this is a nice little group of roaches over here. Just 3 roaches getting a few drones. And it's actually forces the entire roach army to turn around, and now he's going to maybe be able to poke and do something at the natural here, catch some reinforcements, anything that's out in the open. Gets 1 roach. I mean, better than 0.
Yeah. 1 is significantly better than 0, I would say.
Yeah, man, you multiply 0 times infinity, and it's still not going to be better than 1.
I suppose not. All right, so drone count pretty similar at the moment. This is the time where we get to see roaches walk back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
+2 is about to finish those, and have that advantage, and that's pretty huge. I mean, it's not ready yet, but about to be.
Indeed. It's not going to be ready at the beginning of this battle either, and in fact, he has way more roaches here at this second, but we do have more and more roaches coming out for ByuL since we are so close to his rally points. He has these queens in here as well. Should end up being able to hold this, but this was a pretty valuable attack for Solar.
I would say so, and it's just really unfortunate for him that his +2 wasn't ready, because the value would have gone up so significantly had it been. And now it's done in just a second, but he doesn't have enough to continue the attack.
Yeah. Well, he did what he could. He actually ran away at exactly the right time, I would say. Good job by him.
Yeah, that's one way you can utilize the fact that you've mined more and you know that to deplete your opponent's bank. An even straight-up trade is so good in ZVZ when you've done that. And the worker count is still even, so it's hard for ByuL to equalize this deficit he has. And he's still down on upgrades for a little bit longer, so taking any sort of fight is not going to be ideal.
Yeah. And with Solar, we actually have that burrow and burrow movement being upgraded right now. So that means that he can even heal his roaches up a lot quicker. Maybe use some burrow tactics to do a little bit of harassment as well.
Yeah.
Of course, both players do have overseers, so we'll be able to stop that a little bit. But just the fact that he can do things like this, like he is healing up every single roach all the way at the moment.
Yeah, and the thing about this is, too, not about just the overseer seeing it for vision. It's just a really tough multitasking thing to do. Roaches are so hard to kill in general that if you get 3 roaches in the main base, it's not like if you have a DT in there and it's just like a few roaches can kill that, or like even it's just a bunch of speedlings running in and kills that. You know, you might snipe a queen with 3 roaches. They do damage so quickly. It's
hard for drones to like surround and kill. You can surround and kill a DT reasonably quickly with workers. It is true. And here are those 3 roaches you were talking about, Wolf, coming right in. Of course, they are going to be one-shotting all these workers very, very quickly.
Oh, and here we go. Can he actually force his engagement? I think he can. I believe he's also up in upgrades. Way much bigger roach count. 20 roaches up right now.
Yeah, and even harassing at the same time. Solar looking absolutely phenomenal in this CVZ set.
Absolutely, man. He belongs in Code S, and he's going right there.
Yeah. I think there's no question. Just looking at how he's played in Pro League,
GG.
Him getting a Code S spot should not be a surprise to anybody.
Yeah, I feel like he had like an off day, even in his last Code S season. He lost to Rain in that final match.
Yeah, I do remember this. Because I remember going in, I was very excited because I felt like he was such a strong CVP player, but didn't quite show what he's made out of.
When I watched him play, I think it was either that week or the week before, I was like, I don't think he's getting out of this group, but I think he should. And I made my predictions, and Rain, I predicted over him, and he barely won the series. It was a really close series. And I feel like next season that he's getting into, obviously in first place here, he's going to have a much better run. I think he could get, I expect him to get at least around a 16.
Okay. He definitely could. Let's see who's in his group, because don't forget, this is going to be a really ridiculously stacked season. Every season gets a little bit harder than the season
A little
before.
bit harder every single time. The level of play is rising, month to month, week to week, day by day.
Indeed. Well, Journey against Deer is coming up next. Can Journey take even one game from Deer?
I don't think so. Deer's not like in shape right now, but I still think he's just a much higher caliber player.
Well, we'll see if Journey maybe can make an upset after